So hello folks, this is Mike harley-davidson. How are you folks doing? I hope you're doing alright. It's September the 6th, I think. And I'm on my way to work. Taking the long way. Look at all the tobacco. So today, I think I'd like to talk about a topic rather than tell stories about my family. I'll tell you more later. I just don't want to do the same thing all the time, you know. It starts to get old. So the topic of today is city mouse or country mouse. Now you can guess already where I stand on this issue, thought, question. Obviously, I prefer the country mouse, and I'll tell you what led me to this. How's that? I grew up in the city. First, I started off. My earliest memories were in Somerville, Massachusetts. We used to call it Slumaville because it was, you know, kind of a tough, poor, working-class neighborhood. It was really bad when my dad was growing up. And when I was about 7, we moved to Lynn, which we considered to be out in the sticks. Funny, because it's not the sticks. It's actually worse than Somerville. For crime and drugs and all that kind of stuff. There's actually a street inland you cannot walk down without permission. It's a no-go area, and it's run by the Hells Angels. I know this because I was told when I was delivering newspapers that I had to avoid going down that street at all costs unless I had permission. And then one day I got permission to deliver my little free newspapers down there. And it was pretty scary. There's this one yard that had, I thought I heard a pit bull or a dog growling. I know what pit bulls sound like because my dad owned one. So I turned around to look at it, and there were 15 of them. 15 pit bulls. And they were behind an 11-foot tall fence. And they're all looking at me like, come on over, you want to play? It was scary. I mean, I love pit bulls. I love pitties, but not 15 of them looking at you like you're a piece of meat. That day, I felt like I was on the menu. Anyway, so I grew up in the city, hearing police sirens, fire trucks, ambulances, pretty much all the time. I grew up on a major road. It was Route 129, which was 2 lanes going either direction. And there was a red light nearby, and so I would constantly hear the trucks slowing down, that gearing down thing, all the time. Cars speeding up when the light turns green, all the time. I grew up with that noise so much so that when I went to college in Arundel, West Sussex, England, I would walk around the dormitory making cop car noises. I mean, I missed it. I was so used to hearing it. It was too quiet. So, I enjoyed living in the city because there was public transportation. I didn't need to have a car. I could ride my bicycle around locally and take the bus if I needed to go places. There was a subway train not that far away, about 25 minutes away by bus. Well, sort of. Anyway, I didn't mind. And then later on, when I did get a car, I didn't have to drive into Boston every day to go to work because there was the train, the bus. What is this? What is this? Okay, abandoned car on the side of the road there. When I went to Fiji for 2 years, of course I went from living in the city and being a very disaffected, unhappy 20-something. I get to Fiji and it's all beautiful and the people are super friendly and generous and it's great. And so I kind of lightened up. And I moved back to Lynn, Massachusetts. I got my first apartment in a part of town where to my right were these beautiful old Victorian houses, and to my left were tenements and drug deals and all kinds of crazy stuff. Oh boy, I got a light out up here. Still, wow. Apparently somebody hit a telephone pole or something around here. I mean, that was down the street though, that wasn't up this way. I wonder what's going on here today. No matter. So, I get into my apartment and I open up the window in Lynn, Mass. After 2 years in Fiji, living in peace and quiet with cows and chickens running around. Literally like running around in the dirt roads. And I heard off in the distance, I heard coo, 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 ah! And I literally, not joking, I breathed a sigh of relief in a way, or reminiscence, or happiness. I'm like, ah, I am home. Turns out I read in the paper the next day that a girl was angry because some other girl was stooping her boy, the high school kids, and so she she shot the offending party in the face. The person didn't die. And then they quoted the shooter as saying, "I wished I had killed that bitch." Yep. So, I loved the city when I was younger. But then I moved to Hawaii in 2000 and I lived there for 5 years. And everything there is super duper overpacked. And we saw all kinds of crazy stuff. Prostitution, drugs, abandoned cars and couches and fridges and stuff all over the place. It was really kind of seedy and nasty and disgusting. And you know, I put up with that my whole life up to that point. So when it came time to move, when I arrived in North Carolina, I immediately fell in love with the ruralness of it, the friendliness, the slow pace. And I never looked back. I was sitting on my porch when I first moved in, and I saw people walking with their kids down the street in the afternoon, and there was a tractor drove by, a small tractor with pulling a bunch of plants drove by. I could hear crickets, not one siren, not one gunshot, and I thought, this is perfect, this is life. Somebody just waved. And I nodded because I didn't see him until it was too late. Anyway, so I like quiet. I like peace. I like open spaces. I don't like crowds. I don't like a lot of people and crime and sirens and stuff. And I don't live in total country because, you know, look where I am, right? But it's country enough for me. Country enough so that if I go to New York or Boston, I feel like a country bumpkin, that's for sure. Alright, y'all. This is my KD7. Talk to you later.